Hello, this is Alba Gomez and welcome to Amplify the podcast. I am incredibly passionate about helping men and women amplify who they are and how they show up in the world. Let's have a conversation about how you can amplify your confidence and presence so you get the results you want in your business and career. Welcome to episode number 9 of season 2 of Amplify and our next step into this journey to increase our presence and influence is understanding how we actually influence others. So I really want to clarify this. I made a little introduction of the first episode of this season, but I really wanted to clarify to this today what I mean by influencing and how do we actually influence others. So a few things that I want to share here. The first one is I want you to understand that influencing is not manipulating. Influencing is all about letting people stop their busy minds to listen to your ideas and suggestions. We are influencing our kids, our partners, our friends, our colleagues, bosses, potential clients, everybody with our ideas. So if you are alive, you are influencing. So that is really important to understand. Secondly, influencing is an incredible aspect when you are a leader. Then a leader is not just simply the boss of a company. You are a leader of your life and you are meant to be leading those around you to inspire them to be the best they can be. You are leading others but simply inspiring them. And I have this beautiful, incredible definition from Sheryl Sandberg from Facebook, who says, leadership is about making others be better as a result of your presence and making sure that impact lasts in your absence. I love that definition because it talks that leadership is about presence, which is obviously the topic of this season, and understanding that people is simply just making others feel better because you came into their lives and that when you leave the room, they're still going to remember you. So you can be a stay-at-home mom, you can be a retired dad, you can be in business, in the corporate world, in an entry position in a company. You do want to develop your leadership skills. And one of the most important leadership skills to develop is understanding how you can influence those around you in a positive way. Self-confidence is the fundamental basis from which leadership grows. And we spoke about strengthening your mindset and increasing your confidence a few episodes ago, but that's what I consider. I consider it is really important to understand that before we think about leadership, we think about self-leadership. And before we think about self-leadership, we talk about self-confidence. It's really important to understand that the more confident you are, the better leader you will be of your life and of the life of those around you. So anything we can do to increase our confidence, will impact directly how you act, how you show up, and the results you get to your actions. So all of the things we have been speaking about are going to remind you of your own power, and all of the tools that I've been sharing with you are meant to help you regain the confidence we were born with, because the reality of things is we are born 100% confident. We are so brave. We are so courageous. We want to do all the things we want to do as kids, as babies. And it is society and life and falling and making mistakes and criticisms of others that start shutting down that confidence. First step to increase your level of influence starts with self-confidence and self-leadership. So what can you do to increase your confidence and do those actions in a constant basis? And as I said, I have spoken a little bit more about this in previous episodes, so I'm not going to go in more detail now. So I mentioned self-leadership. Why do I mean by that? And this is a topic that I go deeply in the work with my clients. It's really understanding that you must influence yourself before you think about influencing others. So it's kind of like the thought of like, if you cannot control yourself, how can you wish to even go and control others? Which actually is completely impossible. The only thing we have control of is our own mind. And that's where the control ends. Plus, controlling our own minds is quite challenging because we were never told we could. I personally let my mind run the show for many, many years until I realized that it was the other way around, that I could control my mind. And it is a challenge that I work hard to win every day of my life. So how do you influence yourself? You need to start to get yourself to take action. You need to start doing the things you say you were going to say. And that's one of my favorite definitions of confidence. Confidence is doing the things you say you were going to do. Because if you don't have self-control, good luck getting to influence others and to set yourself as a figure of that is an example, that you lead by example. So it is important that you get yourself to take actions on the things that are important to you. In order to do that, you need to be already aligned and clear that the way you're living your life is the way you want to live it. And then again, we spoke about this in the first episodes of this podcast. So if you haven't, make sure you go back where we started talking about living your life in alignment, because that is the first step. From there, being confident and increasing your influence is going to be so much easier. So once you have taken control of your own ability to self-lead and self-influence yourself, then you can go and start thinking, okay, how can I go and influence others? So we started talking about this in last episode. So one of the first things that you need to start thinking is how can you become incredibly good at being an active listener? And I love these statistics that people who feel heard by coworkers and superiors report feeling 5 times more likely to feel empowered to perform the best work. However, studies show that people spend 75% of the time listening to others distracted, preoccupied, or forgetful. I spoke a lot about this in last episode, but it is incredible how all you need to do sometimes to be able to influence another person is to listen to them, not to push your idea, not to try to get them to think like you, because good luck with that. It is all about listening actively and understanding the point of view. Then they feel seen and heard, and from that place, influencing them to listen to what you have to say is going to be way easier. And the key to be the best communicator you can be is to be curious. Ask questions. Don't push your topic. Ask questions. And by asking questions, the person will feel you are interested and genuinely ask questions. I'm not saying pretend. All I always say is you need to understand the science to use it to your advantage in a very authentic way. I am not asking you to fake it, because faking it will just cause completely the opposite effect. Be curious in a genuine way and try to get to understand where is that person coming from with their ideas. Once you understand, it is going to be so much easier for you to say things that will actually be listened to. Because remember, you speaking doesn't mean that it's going to be heard. We all have very different styles of communication, and you thinking that your style of communication fits everybody is a massive mistake. The way you speak is received in many different ways. Those who with similar styles of communication as you will just have a party with you. But those with opposite style of communications as you will struggle very much to get what you're trying to say. And you cannot influence somebody when the other person is not on the same page, not on the same side of the equation as you. And you need to remember, our children are different, our partners are different, our bosses are different, our clients are different. You need to make sure that they are understood and listened. We are selling our ideas all the time. So how good are you at influencing others in every aspect of your life? By being able to communicate your ideas in a way that is received by them. So I want you to start analyzing or just grab a person in your life that you find hard to communicate with. It can be either in your personal life or your professional life. And start thinking, maybe we just clash so much. Or maybe that is why it's so hard for me to influence that person is because we have very different styles of communication. How can I become more curious? How can I become a better active listener so I have better chances at getting this person to get on the same boat as me so we can have better communications. And if you want to go deeper into the concepts shared today on this podcast, you have to check my online presence formula program. It is a self-paced, from the comfort of your home program where you're going to be able to go way deeper into these concepts, where I share more tools and techniques. And for being a listener of Amplify, I am offering a super special discount, 35% of the price, which is more than $100. So this is a very low price program that I created because I really want you to be able to learn so much more about this if this is a topic that you're interested in. Make sure you go and check how good are you at the moment are influencing those around you by the way you communicate. And I'll see you at the next episode. Bye. Thank you for joining me for this episode of Amplify. If you have enjoyed it, make sure you subscribe. Also, I will love it if you leave us a review. See you for the next episode. Bye-bye.